Garcia, why are you still listening?
Because I was hoping you could explain these noises.
What noises?
God, that's you too.
Now think about the things we talked about, Walter. Think, seriously think. Can it be real? Can it be false? We'll see you next time in Area 53. Be careful there, wherever you are.
That was Area 53. We're sorry. Have you heard the #1 gardening show in San Andreas? If not, here's what you're missing.
Well, why don't you just go buy vegetables at the grocery store then, you sycophant? God, I just don't understand people.
You go to hell.
Well, screw you too, Mom. See if you're ever on the show again. Next caller, Ellen.
Yeah, what's that plant that blooms every 12 years? Is 8 foot high and smells like hell? I want to plant one on my ex-wife's lawn.
It's called Amorphophallus titanium. God, I love to say that. Amorphophallus titanium. The sound of it gives me a redwood in my khakis. If I come back as a superhero, I want to be called that. It's Amorphophallus titanium, the rare botanical wonder. See his 8-foot protrusion as he pollinates on everyone.
But why does it stink so bad?
It's about marking your territory, my man. You don't mark your territory, do you? You should try it. Pee on the front door of your office. Just see if anybody thinks of coming near you.
Okay, I would try that. Thank you so much for the advice, Maurice.
Oh, I'm here to help, sailor.
Gardening with Maurice, only on WCTR.
If you crave news, WCTR, West Coast Talk Radio.
I love my husband more than anything.
Which is why I was surprised to find her sleeping with the teenager next door.
Now I take each day one day at a time. I didn't know what I had till it was almost gone. Now I'm faithful and haven't terminated a pregnancy in over a year. I stopped obsessing about my weight. Now there's just more of me to love. They say America's fatter than ever, but when you're #1, it's time to celebrate. And why not celebrate with cake every day? Celebrate cake.
If you're into exploring exotic places and forbidden fruit, stay tuned. It's The Wild Traveler. Next.
Support for The Wild Traveler is brought to you by the Ultimate Disc in the Dark Association of America, who encourages you to get out and play hard. Hello, I'm James Badiston, World Traveler, and this is The Wild Traveler. We're discussing the world and all of its many pleasures. Let me put it like this. Why have a hot dog from an uncaring vendor by the bathroom when you could attend a beer-guzzling marathon in Germany with enormous men and taste a wonderful German's Wurst? The world is full of incredible things, and you can discover them for yourself. Come along, I'll take you there. It was dusk, and the sun bled red over the city in Thailand as Chen brought me a sparkling water. A delicate, handsome, lovely young boy. A world of possibilities. But war is folly, and we can only unite by visiting these epochs of culture, where a man can be himself, smoke cigarettes, dress in gladiator clothing if he likes. We mustn't force our way and culture upon other peoples. Rather, breathe it in, become part of it. Maybe Hemingway was right about love. Maybe Freud was. We're all fighting inside to let a wild creature mate in the rain. I travel, therefore I am. This is a show that embraces culture from around the world. Let's take our first caller. Hello?
Yeah, I totally agree with you about Australia. And you're right, the moon is shit. Also, thinking of visiting Colombia. Do you have any recommendations?
Oh, yes, fantastic forms of recreation to be had in Colombia. It's a blizzard of excitement. And cheap. The rails are great. And long. Bolivia's not bad either. Or Peru. You'll be surprised to find out how the party never stops.
How's the food?
Well, a lighter is the most you need to cook up food. But there's scarcely time to eat, my boy. You'll meet fascinating people, feel so comfortable you'll rip your clothes off and howl for days. Next caller.
Yeah, hi. My name's Geraldine, calling from Casa City. This is such a great country. Why would you go anywhere else? It's unpatriotic to travel. I mean, I got war, famine, depression, and pollution right here on my doorstep. And parents, don't let kids Euro-rail after college. They'll come back with ludicrous misconceptions about healthcare, charity, and civilization. Europe is not the real world. This is.
Well, I love to slum about in a dirty youth hostel with communal showers as much as the next man. sometimes more. But I have to agree, Europe is overrated. Eastern Europe was good for a few years after the wall came down, but even there the police are too strict. You just can't let your hair down. There are far more unexplored pleasures to be had in the Far East. Next caller, you're on the Wild Traveler.
Hey, I've been listening to you go on and on about traveling. Do you know how expensive it is to fly to Asia? Russia saw the light. They're all coming here to set up crime families and run numbers. South America, everyone went extinct there. They have less culture there than the content of my toilet bowl. Rainforest, schmainforest. And Mexico, if I wanted to be that close to my ancient ancestors, I'd be banging my mother-in-law instead of my wife's best friend.
Look, we can fight like beasts or agree to disagree. I'm sure the summit of your aspirations in life is a cheerleader with fake guns, but some of us think a little more exotically than this. Next caller, vamos, buenos dias and noches. If you don't smile, I won't deep. Harder! Sorry, got lost for a second. Speak.
Hey, I love this show. I'm a huge fan. I visit all the places you recommended, and in a lot of them, they're still talking about you. I even saw posters of you in the customs booth at the airport in the Philippines. You rock!
No doubt, I love Manila. Had a great time.
But that show you did last week, what was the name of that spiritual center in Bangkok?
The Wild Dragon's Happy Ending. Very spiritual. You will find it at peace.
Awesome. I can't wait. Thanks, man.
Yes, we all love to travel, get away from it all, get away from the people with computers and their databases, the police harassing you for doing nothing. I just hate showing up to some place to enjoy myself and people are being forced from their homes by war or famine or whatever. Life is great! Stop ruining it! Next caller.
Hey, the FBI wants to talk to me about a perfectly innocent collection of vacation photographs overseas that I had no idea were being taken. I mean, any ignorant fool can misinterpret. I was teaching them how to swim.
I have a lot of experience with this. I want you to stop for a moment and let me read from my travel journal. I think everyone should keep a journal. Paste pictures, notes. Sometimes people object to you taking their picture, but a few pennies of their local currency and they will fawn over you. Some people think this is patronizing, but I think it is fair enough. They need the money and I need the company. Besides which, it is the oldest profession. What? Oh, time for me to head south again. I'm James Pedestin, and this has been The Wild Traveler.
This is WCTR, committed to bringing you shows like The Wild Traveler, the show that takes you around the world and abandons you at the airport.
Deal with your ignorance in 1 minute flat. Complex issues in 60 seconds. WCTR.
It's a favorite show with serial killers and stalkers. Lonely Hearts is next.
All through the sultry anonymity of night and some of the day, you're on Lonely Hearts on WCTR, West Coast Talk Radio. Or as I like to call it, We Can't Talk Right. I love you all. I'm your host, Christy McIntyre. Let's go to the phones.
Hi, Christy. My wife and I love your show. It's really helped.
Aw, thanks. Do you want to tell us about it?
No.
Okay. Jenny on the line from Santa Maria. Hi, Jenny. How's your heart?
Broken, like my arm and two of my wrists.
What happened?
I married my childhood sweetheart, but it all went wrong. He's become a drunk, and he has a substance problem, too. And now he beats me every day.
Stay with him, honey. After all, you're only lonely when you're alone.
But he keeps threatening to kill me.
Jenny, do you know the meaning of the phrase homewrecker?
No.
What about selfish bitch? I want to bring people together, not break them apart. Who's on the phones? It's a big, lonely state out there.
Careful now, Mary. I'm watching you right now in the shower.
Notice how many lonely hearts are lunatics? You wonder why, or perhaps not. Ryan from Las Venturas.
Hey, dude, my name's Brian. I'm calling from Las Venturas. I want to talk about my heart.
Why do men just repeat back what you say and never listen? Are you brain dead, Brian?
Oh, actually, it's ironic that you say that. It's because my wife's been brain dead for years now.
Oh, so sorry. I seemed all insensitive for a second there, possibly ruining my career. Would it help if I slept with you?
Oh, probably not, dude, though. She wouldn't even notice. I mean, I get away with it all the time now, even after I did it with her sister. Actually, our relationship is better than ever. The passion is amazing. It's like I'm a new person each time. If she was back to the way she was before the accident, wow, I put her in a coma myself. I mean, it's fantastic.
That's very informative. You know, last night I wondered what it would be like to be brain dead. Then I watched My Five Uncles. God, I'd love to live in that house. Remember, a heart can mend, but a divorce lasts forever. Unless he makes you a widow. Hello?
Yeah, hello, Lonely Hearts. I was just calling up there 'cause I was listening and I figured out, you know, that I can help out some of y'all clients. You know, this is none other.
Come on, you mother pingas!
I'm gonna kick your ass for the good of the community. Waits for no one, chump. Officer in need of assistance. Excuse me. I got no problem kicking your ass. This one's mine. What's going on here? Watch where you're going.
Let's do this, come mierdas!
Hey, you're not getting any.
Yo, give me some love, homie.
Watch him, man!
Hey, you want a jab or a right cross? I'm on to you, man.
You're messing up my
I'm gonna beat the
greña!
living shit out of you, pal. Get back over here. Move, bitch!
And now I have a special surprise for him.
Oh, you have a great week. Isn't that really beautiful? That's all we have time for. If your heart is lonely, listen to other losers and you won't be lonely anymore. You'll want to spend the rest of your life in isolation, away from people, which is worse after all. Until next time.
I hope you enjoyed Lonely Hearts. It's always fun to laugh at other people's misery, isn't it?
The day of liberation is here. Throughout history, only the biggest and strongest survive. Being big means you're successful, and women love big men. And as a successful man, you need to feel comfortable when you're sitting down to eat. Clothes for the bigger man. Don't be bound by society, bogus medicine, and the media with their unhealthy focus on being skinny. Don't be constrained by trying to squeeze into a XXX. Bored of feeling like a man in a sausage skin in your size 48 jeans? Bored of being uncomfortable? Kilimanjaro, the clothes shop for enormous men. We're fighting to end hunger. Yours.
Up next on WCTR, it's The Man Coaches Hate. It's Derek Thackeray in the tight end zone. Brought to you by Eris Pump Up Shoes, because women love a winner, and winners wear shoes.
Did we start with the national anthem? Yeah, screw it. Yeah, I got two. Just play the opening music. Welcome back to Tight End Zone. Now it's time for something really important. Fat men talking about games they don't really understand, played by people they don't know. I'm your host, Derek Thackeray. What a crazy year it's been. Let's recap. Drug scandals involving preschool soccer moms. Woo! And the national finals, rich and popular people are fighting it out. Pay attention, the country is in mourning. And most importantly, sportswear. We talked to a fitness expert about the crucial role of endorsed clothing. And who could forget, we visit the greatest moments.
Here he comes. He's in the shadows. There he is. Is he going to make it? Yes, he did. Ladies and gentlemen, what you have just witnessed is the biggest moment in world history. Who cares about a Declaration of Independence or discovery of penicillin? You have just seen one man score.
You want trouble?
Welcome to America. Now will you be quiet?
Let's talk about it. Stay in the tight and let's go to the phones.
Yeah, the Wolves! Hey, Derek, my name's Jason, and I'm a Wolves fan. First-time caller. I don't vote, I can't be bothered. But I will kick your ass if you disrespect my sports team.
Okay, the Wolves, that's team playing sports as if they cared.
Yeah, the Wolves! I don't care who's sleeping with who on the team.
Yeah, I'm with you, buddy. Okay. Hey, let's take another call. Who's on the phone? Hello, caller. You're on with the tight end of radio.
Hey, I'm a big Olympics fan. Always have been, since day one. Been to every one.
Me too. I love the games, especially the luge. I'm married, so sliding down an icy tunnel of doom at high speed makes sense.
Yeah, I know about frigid action myself. I mean, they gotta be kidding me. Since when has running been an Olympic sport? Running ain't a sport. Don't make me puke. Anyone can run. My ex-wife made me an athlete. I ran my ass off when the Red Baron flew into town.
I tell you, when I was a kid, there were only 3 sports that mattered. Football, baseball, and killing communists. And I had a great childhood, really great, even if my uncle did come into my room that late at night drunk. And, oh, that was nuts. Anyway, look, who's on the line? We got a Caledonians fan on the line. Tough times, huh? Hey, your whole life revolving around rich men playing poorly.
Man, I totally identify with shallow heroes who I don't know personally. God, I love a dude with a big pituitary gland. I love the Cali...
It's my constitutional right, kid.
Win, trying to score some on the other team. Hey, I wish I had a wife so she could beat me.
Here's what I say, man. If you want to be #1, you gotta go for first place.
I know. Hey, I mean, you know, it's great statement. The obvious, but once you get paid for it, things get really complicated.
Man, I was at their training camp this spring, and the mood in the locker room, dude, guys were getting changed, man. I mean, they were really getting prepared. Shoes were going on, feet, shirts were going on, the shirt part of their body, serious faces on them, and you could tell that they were going to play this game.
Bottom line is, if they don't score more points than the other team, they can't win.
Yeah, man. God, you have some spooky insights into sports, dude. I love your show, man. I love you.
Yeah, look, great talking to you. Excuse me. Hey, that's really perceptive stuff. You know, we've been petitioning stadiums to install a urinal trough in front of each row of seats. Now, it's so inconvenient having to leave your seat, make everyone stand up, get up. You know, to let you by, then go stand in line for the bathroom. I mean, half the time we can barely walk anyway, all right? So we'll be handing out petitions that say support the team. Don't leave the game, pee at your seat. Going to the phones.
I'm a big fight fan. Love a bit of a punch-up. Since my wife and children got taken into a shelter, my friend said, Chuck, you obviously love hitting things. So I've gotten into boxing. How about that fight between Gonzalez and Jackson?
Well, there's one thing about boxing I always remember. You know, one man wins, the other goes home a loser. Because in boxing, unlike most sports, gravity works downwards.
You gotta be shitting me.
Hey, Derek Thackeray, don't shit on no one. But I do like to piss on my seat and at my seat too. Not really on it, so stay out of the way.
Now tell me, the fight game, that ain't rigged, is it?
Of course not. Hey, how could anything professional be fake? Hey, there's too much money at stake for one thing. I mean, these guys got too much to lose. I mean, why is a guy gonna take a dive for a few extra million when he could earn that over a number of years getting his brain turned to pulp? Be serious for a minute. The clock is counting down again. It's time for Derek to head to the locker room and celebrate in the shower. We'll see you next time. Bring a cooler full of beers and get ready to riot. This has been the Tight End Zone.
And this is WCTR, proving that radio is better than TV. That's the show men with large guts love.
The news and all the other things that really matter to you, like people dying.
Bodies everywhere.
And explosions.
Is hanging from the trees. This accident is really cool.
WCTR.
If you love to hear liberals whine and conservatives lecture, then stay tuned for I Say You Say.
The future of America threatened again. This time we mean it.
I'm Dr. Phillips.
And I'm also Dr. Phillips. Today on the show, do cave paintings in museums make us violent?
The anti-beef movement. Both Hitler and Mussolini were vegetarian.
And we take on the highly charged debate about test tube babies and actually talk to one.
I have flashbacks and go into hysterics in science class. Do you know what it's like growing up in a beaker?
That's all today on I Say, You Say. We share last names, but... Yes, unfortunately it did. I don't know if you saw today's news, so who is...
This is 46. Engaging pursuit of the green Porsche 911. Half a click, half the old museum.
This is Central to 46. What's your speed?
Central, this is Unit 46. Speeds now exceeding 160 kilometers an hour.
Roger that. Unit 46.
Please pull off to the side of the road.